Earlier this week, I was asked to fill in as a proxy for a colleague on the Bloomington Faculty Council at Indiana University. It's a wild time in rooms like that one. Higher education feels like it is in perpetual conflict right now, and for most of the 2 hours I sat on the council, that tension dominated the room. Then the council was given a brief reprieve. Scott Dolson, IU's athletic director, was on the agenda to give a report on the athletic department that day. It was an encouraging update in every way, and not just because of all the recent winning from IU's football team. The women's volleyball team is killing it right now, too. I was surprised by the growing academic success of the school's student athletes. That progress over the last decade has also been phenomenal. But the thing that struck me most about Dolson's update was one quote off of one of his slides. It read, quote, "Being successful in athletics creates a feeling of connection and unity among Indiana University students, faculty, staff, and alumni," end quote. Yes, it does. It can be seen, heard, and felt on campus right now. In Bloomington, the campus high of having a championship caliber football team feels like young, unexpected love. It's as if we didn't know it could be like this until it became real. Some of that is going on in Indianapolis right now, too. I became a walker, a deeply committed walker, in 2020. The lockdowns of that year practically forced walking on many of us, and it became embedded in me. That year, I was able to see who was masking and distancing and who wasn't. I could see who seemed to be making the most of an awful moment and who was struggling with it all. What I saw in my downtown Indy neighborhood during that unique disaster was at times awful and disturbing, and at others wonderful and comforting. I've been paying close attention ever since. What is easiest to see lately on my walks in the city is excitement that comes from our sports team's successes. Caitlin Clark's arrival last year and the Indiana Fever's playoff run this year created a new layer of connection in the city. The posters in the storefronts and the Fever gear people wear dominated the summer. "Go Fever" yells are heard between fans sporting "Now You Know" t-shirts on the trails and the sidewalks. This energy followed the Pacers run earlier in the summer, though we have a little experience with that buzz. Of my regular routes, I have 3 favorite places: the beaches of Southwest Florida, the Bloomington campus of IU, and the neighborhoods around my home in downtown Indianapolis. All 3 are places I enjoy walking when no one else is there, but those rare vacant days are the ones I enjoy the least. All 3 are so much better to walk when groups of other people are also out and about. Why? For me, it's how I observe the mood of the community. I'm amazed at how easy it is to see. I first noticed how much just being out in the mix meant to me when my wife and I made our first trip to Europe in 2018. Walking and touring several different cities in Spain left me with a distinct feeling about the place and how it is defined by the vibe of its people. To me, Spaniards are, first of all, strikingly beautiful. But once one gets past that, they are also calm and cool, noticeably less rushed than Americans. They seem to take more time with each other, are not slaves to some invisible grind, and again, in my view, happier than we are. I'm sure in their culture, all of those individual things lead to the others in a continuous circle that defines their lives. But we were only there for a couple of weeks, not long enough to see how that vibe might change with a season, a catastrophe, or some celebratory triumph. On my 3 regular walking routes, I get to see all of that all the time, or as my students would say, on the regular. Suddenly, my home communities have something to celebrate together, and it's not quiet or hidden from someone just passing by. It's often loud and visible, shared among people who would otherwise behave as strangers to one another. These newfound celebrations are new and hot right now. Hoosiers love winners. Being out and about in the city over the last few months makes this visually and audibly clear. I grew up a sports nut, but as I have aged, my fandom has become softer. But Indiana is having a moment right now, and Scott Dolson is right about the connection it creates. Let's try and make it a habit.